I always wondered why Kishimoto left the mystery of Hidan and his god Jashin unsolved in Naruto Shippuden. But with the reveal of multiple Otsutsuki gods being a part of the story, the possibility of Jashin being one of them has enhanced a lot. Special thanks to Trafalgar for reminding me of this topic. Now let's dissect the true identity of Lord Jashin and how he might return in the story. Looking at the story of Boruto at hindsight, there are many hints which suggest the presence of more Otsutsukis. The debut of Shibai has raised the possibility of his pair, who might become the next big thing in the story. Both of them must have conquered the planet before the arrival of Ishiki and Kaguya, and the number one clue which hints at this possibility is the placement of these Otsutsuki tablets. They follow a right to left chronology, which means the pair who found the planet first appears on the left side of the wall. Considering one of the two missing Otsutsukis was Shibai, are there any hints for his partner that we have missed? Well, there are plenty of clues which hint at the partner of Shibai being none other than Jashin Otsutsuki. The reason I think this is because the mystery of Hidan's god is one of the most renowned puzzles of Narutoverse. In the Mirai novel, the lore of Jashin was further extended when a second devotee made his entry. This part of the story was eventually adapted into anime and then got a manga adaptation as well. However, the main clues for the return of Jashin are way more interesting. First and foremost, he has been entitled as god by Hidan, and as we know from Ishiki, the only gods present in the Narutoverse are Otsutsuki gods. Momoshiki further clarified that any Otsutsuki can become a god, and several of them have rewrote the history of humanity before. If I had to categorize Jashin, then I would consider him an Otsutsuki god just like Shibai. In this way, we now know of two Otsutsuki gods, and they could be the same beings whose tablets were broken in the Ten Tails realm. I even feel like it's actually the evolution of an Otsutsuki which breaks their tablets. The other Otsutsukis have got themselves sealed, killed, absorbed and even fused, yet their panels are intact. The damage could symbolize the Otsutsuki's advancement into a superior form, leaving no trace of his base appearance. Now before we get into the hints that Amado has dropped regarding his connection with Jashin Otsutsuki, well, let me tell you guys what I believe the relationship of Shibai and his pair could have been like and why he did not sacrifice him to create a divine fruit. I think Shibai Otsutsuki was a benevolent deity, while Jashin was a malevolent one. Shibai must have recognized Jashin as his equal in terms of power levels, but his spitefulness is what made him abandon him. Jashin's character could be symbolic to the 7 deadly sins, and the reason I think this way will completely blow your mind. Remember, there was a clan namely Shinoiki that had went almost extinct. They used to possess a unique dojutsu Ketsuryagen, whose origin is still a mystery till date. The Shinoiki used to reside in the Valley of Hell after they were expelled from their village. It is believed that almost all of them died mysteriously, and a rumor spread that they killed each other. Hidan had also paid a visit to the Valley of Hell, which increased his chances of finding the scrolls and remains of Jashin there. Before explaining why I think Amado also has a connection to this place, let's get into Jashin's relation with the Shinoikis. So what if Jashin is the ancestor of the Shinoiki clan who committed the deadly sins in the Valley of Hell? As for how he must have given them his Shinjutsu, this is where the 7 deadly sins come into play. The deadly sin of lust hints at Jashin getting intimate with Shinoiki women. The whole clan must have started worshipping him because of his unreal powers, and the woman who would become his concubine must be considered sacred. The majestic treatment that Jashin faced by the hands of Shinoiki must have led to him committing other major sins. For example, wrath and pride could be an important part of Jashin's persona cause he was an Otsutsuki god. Similarly, the sin of gluttony comes when he decided to enter the higher plane of existence, just like Shibai, in order to become more powerful. Now, the reason why I think Amado had access to Jashin's remains is because of his broken cyborg Daemon. Daemon's name sounds way too similar to demon, the perfect term to describe Jashin. Not only that, his reflection power is also similar to Hidan's signature ability. I believe Aida's powers were extracted from Shibai's remains, while the powers of Daemon are the purest form of Jashin's abilities. We know that Hidan could use the divine ability to inflict damage on his opponent by becoming a living voodoo doll. This was definitely a Shinjutsu, and Daemon may have the original variant, the power exclusive to Jashin Otsutsuki, which retaliates each and every attack back to the opponent. The second hint lies within the sign that Amado used under Delta's capsule. It's way too similar to the sign used by Hidan during the Jashin ritual. What's more interesting is that Jashin is associated with immortality, and Amado's goal has been to revive his daughter. It could be that he's using the DNA of the other Otsutsuki god in resurrecting Akebi and making her immortal. All in all, what I think is that Amado has the remains of both Jashin and Shibai, and he used them to modify Aida and Daemon respectively. He might have entered the Valley of Hell while gathering intel on the ways of resurrection. The knowledge of making clones and cyborgs helped him in utilizing that data into humans and granting them omnipotent powers. If you pay some attention, Amado has been shown to piss off Shikamaru ever since he entered the village. From wrapping a bomb around his son's neck to hiding things that he was suspicious about. Well, does this remind you of something? Back in Naruto Shippuden, Asuma was killed by Hidan, which led to a conflict between him and Shikamaru's team. The unusual relationship between the scientist and Konoha's smartest could be a throwback to these events. Amado having access to the same power utilized by Hidan, but in a far better way, is a huge possibility. So how could the return of such major character affect the Boruto series? Has the deity actually ascended to a higher realm, or is he still present somewhere committing sins? I think his connection to immortality is completely different than the karmic resurrection cycle of the Otsutsukis. He could have reached an immortal form by the time he became an Otsutsuki god, while Shibai's case was a bit different. When Amado said that there is a slight possibility of Shibai getting killed, it could be a reference of Otsutsuki gods having no resistance to other Otsutsuki gods. Jashin, being a spiteful deity, could have done something to bring Shibai down. Maybe that's why he was forced to escape into the higher plane of existence. The reason Shibai did not kill Jashin could be because he knew about his immortality. Upon fulfilling his needs on the planet, he wiped out the whole Shinoiki clan and even changed the memories of people about them. He could even have some hand in changing the memories of the whole world regarding the Uzumaki clan. It was the very first clan which created jutsus and techniques that mimicked Otsutsuki shinjutsus. But as Momoshiki said, multiple Otsutsuki gods were responsible for changing humanity's memories. I believe it was Shibai who wiped out the Uzumaki clan and rewrote their history. If that's actually the case, then there are a lot of questions which need to be answered. For example, why did not Shibai raise the whole jutsu knowledge from humanity's minds? Did he know that someone from the Uzumaki clan will become a prominent figure in the Otsutsuki world? Could it be that he had chosen Boruto to possess the pure eye years before his birth? I think if Shibai is actually the benevolent deity, then he would have wanted the blue-eyed boy to deal with his opposing force known as Jashin. The perfect timing of the prodigy, which not only made him the closest to Kaguya, but also made him a member of the Otsutsuki clan, is what made Shibai choose him. As for the forgotten history teased by Momoshiki, it could act as a stepping stone for Boruto in his journey of enlightening the universe. When he gets to know about the missing history, he will end up finding the missing Otsutsukis that turned into gods, and how one of them is the personification of evil. The missing karma sign from the Kara wall also looks a bit similar to the emblem of Jashin. It could be that the full powers of Jashin are signified by a heptagram, while the powers utilized by Hidan were only a fragment. That's why he used to draw a triangle to access them. The other powers of Jashin Otsutsuki could also be inspired from black magic and cult stuff. I won't be surprised if Kawaki is the pain level villain of the show and Jashin becomes the Madara of Boruto. I personally want the story to expand and explain all the plot holes. That might actually be huge foreshadowings. If the Shinoiki clan, Jashin, Daemon and Amado actually end up having some connection, then the hype of Boruto would be groundbreaking for real. There are even more teasers for what might happen in the future of the show. From the missing Otsutsuki statues to the destroyed Leaf Village. A lot of stuff is coming to Boruto after the time skip. One of the teasers that could come true is the unreal relationship between Shibai and the Kama guys. Boruto seems to possess the right eye of Shibai, while Kawaki seems to possess the left one. If you wanna know more about this theory, check out this video and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content. I will see you next time.